Here's the thing. The title of this is going to be Cancel Backyard Breaks, okay? I know that we live in a current society today where there's cancel culture run amok. But I wanted to read, and this is not a reaction video, but I want to read some of the comments from some of my Instagram posts, and I want to highlight them right here. This individual says they are a disgrace. They should be banned. It's not cancel culture. It's defense of humanity. The hobby is no place for misogyny and sexism. Cancel culture, I'm not going to get into this very long, drawn-out video about cancel culture, but if there was a reason for good use of cancel culture, it's this. It is the defense of humanity. Okay? When you say the comments, and I'm not going to play the video, I know some people were upset about me on Instagram for not posting it. It's like, it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? It's like you show it and it's like you're doing it for clickbait. If you don't show it, it's like, oh, what are you hiding or whatever. Like, go find it. Y'all can find it, right? And I'm sorry. I'm bringing a lot of heat today from like my Instagram life. It's like my YouTube life is like so much more calm, and then my Instagram life is like a dumpster fire. It's like people are like, they say all sorts of crazy things to me, right? So thank you for those of you who are very respectful and calm in the comments, especially like when you are critical of me or my content and you're supportive of, say, one of the people that I recently called out. You're very cordial and civil and respectful. That's really nice. I think that might change as I grow. But for now, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. And that's why you should leave a like and comment and subscribe. Having said that, this is a defense of humanity. When you debase a hypothetical child, because I know that's one of the arguments. One of the arguments that the backyard bros and the cult following they have is starting to do a full-throated defense is, it's just a joke. No one can take a joke nowadays. Society is soft. Oh, we can't do this. We can't do that. You have to understand that there is a line. And for everyone, that line's going to be different. Everyone has different comedic, tolerances for crassness, nudity, language, all that stuff. But what was said in that clip, in that video, in that stream on Whatnot, and yes, I'm going to say cancel Backyard. I'm not saying cancel Whatnot, but if Whatnot does not do the right thing here, which I'm going to explain what I think is the right thing, as an opinionated person, I'm not using them anyway, so who cares? Like, they don't care about my business, but they care about your business. They absolutely do. This is beyond the pale. Right, like yesterday, I was actually like more calm because I was like, this isn't a hobby for kids. It's not a hobby for anyone who is going to be making such crass comments. Doesn't matter if it's a hypothetical child, okay, or his future daughter, or the body parts of a future daughter. Like, it is absolutely disgusting and gross. And I'm sorry I wasn't more fired up about it. But the more I just kept thinking about it, and yes, I was consuming the content that other people were putting out. Like, I put out my content, thankfully, or not thankfully, but I actually found it amazing that no one called what I did clickbait. But I would read the comments of other people's posts, and I'm not going to post it here, but they were like, "You're doing this for clickbait or engagement farming." Some creators probably got the best numbers they've done in months because of a post they did condemning Backyard. Right now, it's easy to condemn Backyard because everyone is jumping on them. But there's some people who are like, well, suspend Grant, suspend Whatnot for a little bit, a month, maybe two, and then everything's back to normal. This has to, and I don't think a boycott by the consumers is enough here either. This is a flashpoint. This is a critical juncture for Whatnot to figure out what they stand for, what they, do they stand by their sellers and will they protect their cash cow, or will they actually protect the consumer, and do they actually understand the severity of the situation? That's me. So yeah, my solution or my suggested solution is they're gone. They're gone off the platform, and if any other platform decides, oh, they're worth the money, they're worth the risk, let me take them on, whether it's Loop or Drip or TikTok Shop or whatever it is, like they're accepting a hornet's nest, I think, and as a gift, or a Trojan horse. I don't know, some analogy. But to just say that this was all jokes and fun and games, you have to understand that there is a line to all of this, and this is not a close call. I really want you watching, especially if you're a young person who's impressed or impressionable and feel like, oh, I can't joke around in school, I can't do this, I can't do that. You, I am all about free speech. I'm all about what people want to say, but there is a limit. I think some people take free speech rights to like this whole nother projected level that's totally inaccurate and incorrect. There are ramifications and consequences to free speech, okay? If you said what he said at school, your parents get a phone call, and because you're a minor, you're probably going to get a slap on the wrist. I don't think you're going to get expelled. But you also don't have the platform. Your platform is like the classroom, right? The kids around you or the hallway kids. As you get older, you say this in the office, you say this in the workplace, you are, if it's an at-will employment, which I'm not going to get into all of that, but you will get fired. I'm pretty sure you are going to get fired if you say what Grant said on Backyard Breaks. If you have a big platform, like I said, I think yesterday's video, you have a responsibility. And for people to be like, well, you have to be 18 and plus to be in that stream or to have a whatnot account. I just found out recently, you can be as young as 14 years old and break without adult supervision on whatnot. How crazy is that? For some young sellers, they probably love it, right? Oh, my freedom, I get to work. Child labor laws don't apply to me. I can do whatever I want. Look, it's short term. All of this stuff, the flip game, if you're a kid in the flip game, you have to understand that the people who do, like, I'm not going to cast wide net and aspersions on all breakers, but these are the low of the low people, okay? The reason why they break is because they don't have good education. Like, again, not all of them, but this is the only way that they can like earn a living, okay? And you should go get your education. You should be well educated, get a good job so that you can pay for the cards as an adult. But to be like, I want to flip, I want to go to card shows, I want to make vlogs, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to be a breaker. That is a dead-end job. It's not even career for these people, okay? Like, for some of them, again, like if you do it dignified and if you're above board and you provide a premium, first-class experience and all of that stuff, I get that. Like, I'm not talking about all breakers. I'm talking about like backyard breaks, okay? And so when these folks feel like they've gotten away with so many other things and they can do whatever they want and they have a platform and they're like, oh, I'm untouchable, that's what happens. Those comments come out because they feel like there are no ramifications and consequences. And so that's why it's important in this critical juncture in the hobby landscape that the big companies, do the right thing. And for me, I know my opinion is Whatnot has to permanently ban them. Not a suspension, not a short-term, long-term suspension. Ban them. Because it's not just one incident. It's like the straw that should break the camel's back. They've done so many they've said so many crass things. They know they cater to like the youth. Yeah, you're supposed to be 18 and above, but we all know all the kids are on the channels. And I know that's a whole parental guidance thing, but they're there. They know they're there. Again, I feel like a typical backyard stream is going to be filled with 3 people, okay? And maybe I'll title this, no, I won't title this the 3 people who are in backyard breaks or streams or breaks in general. But it's the big whales who have a lot of money, and these are the adults who have a lot of money, whether they're like, millionaires or, top 1% of society. They just have a ton of money, and they have money to burn, and they're happy to do it. Some people also overextend, right? Maybe they don't have a lot of money, but they overextend their credit cards or limits, and they're really underwater, and that's a whole bad place to be too. That's one group of people. The second group of people is going to be people who can't afford anything in those streams. Like, when it's $500, $1,000 per auction item. Like, a lot of those people, you don't have to be a kid. There are some people who are voyeurs and watch that stuff without being like a minor. But they also include that umbrella, that group under the umbrella also includes kids who can't afford it. It's almost like FOMO, or they just want to watch it and they just go, wow, that's incredible. Look at these big cards. That's the same reason people watch things on social media, on Instagram. It's like, wow, look at these big cards. Look at these big cards. And then you have like the bots and the shill bidders, or the people who try to maintain that floor, whether it is a backyard employee or a whatnot employee or someone there to artificially make sure that backyard gets what they should get. Like, and other streamers do this, and other breakers do this too, which I'll get into in another video. But I gotta say, those are the three groups of people who are in those type of rooms. And quite frankly, I think what these other streamers and breakers, like, they may feel upset. Well, oh, if they do that to backyard, they're gonna do it to me. Yeah, understand that there are ramifications for bad language and crass depictions of minors. Like, you should feel bad, or you should feel like a little scared that you might lose your entire business over something stupid you say. Because when it's that beyond that completely beyond the line of reasonability, yes, like, that's not cancel culture. That is a defense of humanity, like this person said. I'm not going to read all the comments. There's so many comments. So thank you to all of you who commented on Instagram, but thank you to those of you who want to comment on this YouTube video. One final thing I guess I want to say. I don't want to make this too long. I'm trying to keep these kind of like short. This one's going to go a little bit over 10 minutes, but this whole situation, I know there are people who are having like incredible engagement. Like, I'm talking to content creators now. I was talking to the kids. I was talking to the reasonable people in the room, and now I'm talking to the content creators. Just remember the fire and passion that you have over this situation. To keep that in mind when another hobby positivity person does something wrong, okay? When someone else does something wrong, don't just stand silent. Don't just wait on the sidelines until you hear other people like me or other hobby negativity people. Again, I think I'm right down in the middle of these two groups, but don't wait on the sidelines until you feel like it's safer or you can do it. Like, I know some people want to formulate their opinions, or maybe they're more risk averse, but don't just stand on the sidelines. Speak up, okay? Don't just think, oh, well, I'm going to speak up only if it benefits me, or if I'm not going to lose my sponsors, or I'm going to think about my wallet. Like, yes, I know it's important to think about how you're going to make a living, but your moral compass and your moral value system and your actual I've completely lost my train of thought there for a second. My dog was doing something silly. I want you to know that your voices are heard and you got great engagement. Don't forget that. Don't forget that endorphin rush that you got from the most engagement you've got in months from posting about this backyard thing, and bring that passion and fire for future scammers, because we always know we're just days away from the next one. Just put up that zero sign where there's not a bad actor in the hobby, but bring it next time, okay? Because you can't just wait until, you can, I mean, some of you have, but you need to hold the feet to the fire for these people, because they're not here to do good. They're absolutely not. And there are some other people who are stream breakers and streamers on Whatnot who are going to benefit if Whatnot does get banned. That money, all that money from the whales, they're going to find other places. They're going to find your channel. They're going to find your stream. They're going to spend money with you. So again, I think it benefits so many people. The only person that doesn't benefit is Backyard, but they should be absolutely canceled. This is not cancel culture run amok, okay? This is what cancel culture was built for. This is what the internet was built for. If something like this happened in like the 90s, there wouldn't be a stir, because we didn't have this online community. So this is the internet and the social media community, the hobby community, using the internet for good, okay? I want you to know that. So don't let anyone make you feel bad that you are, oh, you shouldn't be canceling them, or you can't take a joke, or you're soft. No. Tell them to go off. I'm not going to use that word yet. If I get riled up, maybe I will, but no. Right now, this is my second video on this. I don't want to make this into a series. One final thing, I got to say this. I'm sorry for drawing this out for a little bit too long. This happened apparently on Tuesday night. I thought it happened on Wednesday night, and I found out on Thursday. Whatnot found out about this, or not found out. I don't know when they found out. And that's a big problem if they didn't know about this until Thursday either. But apparently these comments were made on Tuesday night. I don't know what day of the calendar that is. Today is the 31st, 30, 29, 28. Apparently these were made January 28th, and the fervor started coming out January 30th, and now it's January 31st. I'm doing this in the early morning of January 31st. They've had 72 hours, about roughly 72 hours, Whatnot has, to come up with a statement or a response or an action. I'll read, I won't bring it up here, but I'll put it up here. Their silence is deafening, okay? Whatnot, your silence is deafening, and it is embarrassing that as such a multi-million-dollar corporation and company that you are unable to speak out and speak up against this because you are so worried about your cash cow. I am telling you straight up that you are not a big boy company until you are able to have a better PR system, communications in place, until you're actually able to address these issues swiftly. Like that plane crash happened with American Airlines, immediate response, immediate statement. Think about that. These big companies, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, McDonald's, Burger King, crisis management, PR, done. Message, statement, they come out with things. What are you doing? I know you're probably internally thinking about what to do, but there is a right thing to do, and you know what the right thing is to do. You just refuse to do it. And so for that, your whole company, from the top down, I think the CEO's name is Grant, whatever your last name is, the CEO of Whatnot, and everyone underneath, you should be embarrassed. You are not a big boy company until you figure things like this out in a quick manner, and you have your crisis management team, your PR spin, whatever you want to do. Like, this is so embarrassing for you to not be able to address this quickly. And you know what the right thing to do is here. You just refuse to do it. But understand, you will gain more support from the community if you do the right thing. And that's to ban backyard breaks permanently. And all that money, don't worry, the money's not going away. You feel like it is, but all that money is going to go to other streams. So that's all I got today. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens to all of this. So, what now, right? What now, what not?